This is lesson 9.1, the distance formula and midpoint formula. And these are both formulas you've done before, and this will probably be pretty fast and easy for you for this section. The first thing we're going to talk about is the distance formula. The distance formula is the square root of this big long part, which is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And so we just need to plug in the x1, the x2, the y1, the y2 and find an answer to find out what the distance is between these 2 points. So I'm going to start off by just labeling these 2 points, x1, y1 and x2, y2. And it doesn't matter which way you label them. I chose this point to be my first point, but if you chose the other point to be your first point, that would be okay. So D is going to be the square root of x2 minus x1, which is 3 minus negative 1, parentheses around the whole thing squared, plus y2 minus y1, parentheses around the whole thing squared. Now we just have to remember our order of operations. So we're going to do parentheses, then exponents, and on from there. So D is going to be 3 minus negative 1 changes to 3 plus 1, which is 4. So 4 squared plus 4 minus 2, which is 2 squared. The whole thing is square rooted. So that's going to equal the square root of 16 plus 4. And that's going to be the square root of 20. So the distance between negative 1, 2 and 3, 4 is the square root of 20, which is, I think it's approximately about 4.6 or so. So you don't have to write the decimal part, so it's just letting you know. That's the distance formula. Then we have the midpoint formula, which finds the midway point between any 2 points, and it's kind of like averaging. You add the 2 x values and divide by 2. You add the 2 y values and divide by 2. So if we find the midpoint between these 2 points down here, we're going to first of all put it like it's a great big coordinate. Actually, I don't want it quite that big. Let me do it over here. A big coordinate, because I'm going to have to simplify it, I'm sure. So we would do, on the left side here, we would do x1 plus x2 and divide that by 2. So this was x1 and this was x2. And then we do y1 plus y2 and divide that by 2. So that leaves me with 3 over 2 and 0 over 2. And 3 over 2 doesn't reduce, so we leave it like it is. But 0 divided by 2 is just 0. So the point that's in the middle of these other 2 points is going to be 3 halves, comma, 0. And that's all there is to this lesson.